I would say I was very scared in Tokyo, and I was very scared of disappointing people in Tokyo, and I let that pressure get to me. I took many lessons from Tokyo that I could use in Paris, and which is why I was able to get the 2 medals home. सपना देखो तो एटलीस्ट सबसे बड़ा देखो ना. जैसे मैंने एक दो पहले भी इंटरव्यूज़ में बोला है कि मतलब सपने बड़े देखोगे, अगर सोचोगे बड़ा नहीं सोचोगे तो बड़ा करोगे कैसे. So goal will always be for gold, because in shooting you have to be very patient. You have to be very calm and only focus on yourselves. You cannot react, you cannot talk. If we want to produce world-class athletes, we need to work on the grassroots level. Although schemes like Hero India are working on it, but I think we need more than that.
How is, Manu Bhaker, the shooter from Tokyo, different from Manu Bhaker, the shooting we saw in Paris? For the longest time, India would go to the Olympics and watch the likes of Michael Phelps win medal after medal and wonder, when would be the day when an Indian would win more than one medal at the Olympics? We don't need to wonder anymore, because Manu Bhaker has done exactly that. She's come back with 2 medals and was on the cusp of winning the 3rd. So here with us, we have the hero of the Paris Games, Manu Bhaker, with us. Manu Bhaker, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me here.
The last few days have been absolutely crazy for you, meeting politicians, meeting journalists. Did you think it would be like this?
Well, I had a hint of it, but turns out the hint was way smaller. So yeah, not exactly this I had expected, but I thought it's gonna be like some people would get to know and then some people would come to congratulate, but now that I've seen it, it's huge, it's big.
But honestly, you're someone who's gone from the disappointment of Tokyo to the joy of Paris. What made the difference? Everybody in India wants to know what makes the difference at the Olympics.
I would say I was very scared in Tokyo, and I was very scared of disappointing people in Tokyo, and I let that pressure get to me, get to my head, get to me. And I think because of which I lost on the opportunity to even qualify for the finals. Later on, it took me a long time to, overcome that. But now I think the past is in the past for me now. I've put it behind me. Paris, I think I took many lessons from Tokyo that I could use in Paris, and which is why I was able to get the 2 medals home.
So what were these lessons that you took?
Starting from the first one was not to be scared and be confident, because last time around I was kind of scared and very, very nervous. Although this time around also I was quite nervous, but I was not scared. So first being that, and then second being no matter how low how bad phase you are in. For example, before Tokyo I was world number 2. But this time around, I hadn't shot any major competition or won at any major competition before the games because of my injury. So overcoming that and then coming to Paris and then winning this, I had a few doubts, but then again, I did not let that kind of doubts sink into my head.
So before you went into your first competition, every athlete has an internal dialogue. You're talking to yourself. What were you sort of telling yourself, Are you telling yourself, I don't want to fail? Are you telling yourself, I want to go for the medal? I want to get to the final? What was that internal dialogue like?
Nothing. I think I was training in a manner that my scores were very consistent in training also. So I was trying my best to do the same, repeat the thing that I was doing in the training, and I was trying to do the same. So trainings also I was doing like 81, 82, 83, and match also I did 80, which is almost like 1 point here and there. And the one thing that I was telling myself in the match was, come on, you got this, come on, you got this, come on, you can do it, come on, you can do it. So this is the thing that I was like, come on, you can do it. Any moment I was like, okay, I don't think I can do it anymore. It's getting, it's going out of hands. So I don't know if I can do it or not. I would look up to my coach and he'd be like, be courageous, just go for it, just do it. or signal whatever was needed, maybe clicks. So I was being more in the attacking manner. I was more towards that approach and not in a defending mode.
So obviously, we saw that in the mixed competition, you were absolutely brilliant, right? Did the sort of confidence from your individual event sort of then rub off into your mixed event as well? Because I think what you did in that competition, I think you had maybe 2 shots below 10, but that's about it.
Yes, in the qualification match for mixed doubles also I shot really good, and I feel happy because my groups were so good. The entire thing was amazing how the qualification round went for us. We qualified on the 3rd position, and because of that we had to settle for either like the bronze medal match. So then the final match of the mixed doubles was, I do not know how it's going to be, but from the beginning itself my groups were so close and I was shooting so good. I think 2 shots I shot bad, but other than that, amazing. It's not like the qualification round rubbed onto it. I would say that I had trained for it. I had trained for every match separately. Like qualification match was separately trained. Mixed doubles was separately trained. Finals was separately trained. 25 meters was separately trained. Finals for that was separately trained. So
what is the kind of different mentality that you look for, say, qualification, final, and the shoot-offs, where you came so close to a medal? Is there a sort of different mentality that you train for, that you tell yourself, qualification, it's okay, it's a slightly longer process?
No, I think qualifications also I try to push myself as much as I can. All my scores were brilliant. Then finals also I try to push myself in each shot. But in finals, like because of the crowd and the noise, the nervousness is so high. The heart is racing. It's out of control. So that thing affects it a lot. But we do try to manage. I do try to manage it a lot. I've trained according to that. My support staff people, the entire team's support staff people, they used to make noises, all kinds of noises, and used to shout, used to play loud music, everything. So we trained for it, and I think the team did really well.
So that could be just traveling around India that will make you used to the noise and all of that. You could totally get that.
No,
is that practice?
It's a little different when it comes to shooting, because in shooting you have to be very patient. You have to be very calm and only focus on yourselves. You cannot react, you cannot talk, you cannot even let it affect you in any way. So it's a little different in shooting because the entire arena is very calm. Only the people are shouting and the music is loud. And it depends, like somebody would shoot a good score and then people would whoa, and somebody would shoot a bad shot and then be like, so that is also there. But it's interesting to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you've been part of this setup for so many years. I'm guessing everything about shooting is just second nature to you. You don't have to think about it anymore.
Now, yes, it's been 8.5 years for me in this sport. And yes, it has taught me so many things. And definitely patience is one of them. Earlier, I was not a very patient kind of person. So I was always very impulsive and very aggressive about things. Now I have become that kind of person who is like, okay, fine, whatever. So shooting has taught me that, and it helps a lot.
But how is, Manu Bhaker, the shooter from Tokyo, different from Manu Bhaker, the shooting we saw in Paris?
Matter of experience, definitely I saw the fall. Firstly, I was on the peak in 2018, 2019, 2020. Then after the COVID times, I was not able to perform as good as my earlier years. So I saw the fall also. And then how I rose up, I think that was the very important part of that will be any very important part of any athlete's career. Because when they go in the low phase and then they come up, I think that's really beautiful, and a lot of hard work is put in behind the athlete, by the entire team, and by the athlete himself and the family. So that's very important.
So what was the trigger for that, that march back to your redemption, if you may call it that? What was the trigger for you internally that, I'm not happy with where I am, I need to change this?
See, I feel like if you be happy about something for a long time, okay, initially you'll be happy about few things and then you'll be like, okay, I'm happy about this. But if you're happy about something for a longer period of time, you're kind of settling into it and you're allowing it to be, you're allowing yourself to be okay with it. And I believe that there's always scope for improvement. So I keep trying to push myself for improving and to do better. And shooting is a kind of it's an individual sport and you cannot be comparing yourself to other person. So in our sport, there's a scope for improvement only to, you can only improve on your part. You cannot control what the other person does. So I think that's the beauty of the sport. I think the trigger was after Tokyo, I was so angry. I was really upset, but I was really angry as well. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to leave it. I'm gonna get the medal next time. Get the gold, I said last time. So I said I'm gonna get the gold. So I put in a lot of work, but again, not a good time. 2022 was not a great time. 2023 initial months were not good for me. Then I think once I started to work back with my coach Jaspal sir, I think then it kind of I try to even force further in my limits and further in my hard work that I was putting in the sport. So from there I decided I'm going to go all out in the sport. So I think that was the time when I was like, ये तो या तो आ रहा है या पा रहा है, नहीं बीच का नहीं चाहिए. Because I was confused for a short period of time that I'll probably leave the career and probably do something else. Uस time जब low phase होता है ना, तब I believe that your parents, my mom, dad, my brother were always there, especially my mom. And then the coach's support. I think that was the trigger for it.
But one of the things you've kept mentioning, even while you were doing the competition, karna hi hai, right? And now you're kind of mentioning go for gold. At what point does this stubbornness or this arrogance become very important for a champion, to have this complete, utter belief that I can do this?
See, I think किसी भी एथलीट का सपना होता है अपने कंट्री को रिप्रेजेंट करना, अपनी कंट्री के लिए मेडल लेना और कहना ही क्या अगर वो गोल्ड हो तो सपना देखो तो एटलीस्ट सबसे बड़ा देखो ना. जैसे मैंने एक दो पहले भी इंटरव्यूज़ में बोला है कि मतलब सपने बड़े देखोगे, अगर सोचोगे बड़ा नहीं सोचोगे तो बड़ा करोगे कैसे. तो गोल विल ऑलवेज बी फॉर गोल्ड एंड आई विल ट्राई माई बेस्ट फॉर दैट. आई कीप वर्किंग हार्ड फॉर एज लॉन्ग एज आई कैन. आई कीप ट्राइंग माई बेस्ट एंड गोल्ड आ गया उसके बाद भी नेक्स्ट टाइम ऑल्सो आई कैन एम फॉर अनदर गोल्ड. सो दैट्स द अप्रोच दैट आई हैव राइट नाउ. And I'd like to keep it for a long, long time.
Indeed, and that's exactly the kind of motivation you need, for LA.
Yeah, you can never control the results. You can only put your best in the training sessions. So I will try my best in the training sessions and I'll put everything that I have so I can change the color of the medal.
And this also kind of just shows that, you're ready to sort of take responsibility for where you are in the sport and, where you want to sort of go. It's pretty much a very personal sort of decision, right? How involved do I want to be? Like Abhinav Bindra, for instance, when he spoke about 2008, he was like, I was basically like a mad scientist. I tried everything. But when he came back in 2016, he was like, I sort of cut all of that away. I wanted to be more relaxed. Where were you on that sort of thing? How involved were you with the entire process? Were you completely like a mad scientist trying everything, or
no?
You were like,
I do not try everything. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. I try to improve my weakness and I try to maintain my strengths. That's all. I do not like to experiment much in my shooting because it takes I believe it takes a long time to adapt to it and to be comfortable with it in order to win. So I think क्योंकि in matches, I've been through this, that whenever my grip is new, for example, my grip is new, I'd be having doubts that my performance went down because of the grip change. So I do not like to blame all of this on anything. I try my best to have all of that under control and be like, okay, this was my responsibility. This was not the fault of the equipment or any other circumstance. It was just me, and I should have done better. I should have put in more effort. So the previous competitions also, I took responsibility for all the World Cups and everything that I shot before this. And according to that only, I plan for this competition. I do not like to experiment much, but when it's needed, then I go bold with it. If I know it's needed, then I do it.
That clearly seems like a theme for you, that when you decide to go ahead, you're all in.
Yes. I do not like to keep doubts in my head at all. If I need to change something, for example, if I need to change the grip of the equipment, I will change it. And then I'll give it a try for a week. I will not be like, okay, ek din chalaya, acha nahi laga, I do not like the feeling of it, I'll change it again. I'll give it at least a week or 10 days. And then after that, I'll be like, okay, no, this is no. And then put it aside, never think about it again.
You know, you're very young, but you actually talk like a veteran. So I'm going to ask you a question. What did you make of India's show at Paris? Some people think it's a disappointment. Some people think there were a lot of fourth place finishes. So, there's a lot of hope for the future. What did you personally make of it? Because I remember you speaking about it and saying, I hope my medal inspires us to go and get a lot more medals at Paris. So what did you make of it?
So personally, I believe that India has huge, people have a lot of talent, and we have many athletes that can perform amazing. Yes, I believe that the performance could have been better, but at the same time, we cannot ignore that the other countries are also trying their best to not leave even a single medal. And we are still learning many things, we are still developing many things, and we are trying our best in many sports. And it's not like people are not trying, the government is not trying, everyone is trying their best. But at the same time, the other countries are also trying their best to do a podium finish or win all the medals possible. So I would say that, yes, as you mentioned, the fourth finishes, definitely, I mean, the performance, if you'll compare from the last Olympic Games to this, I think it was a lot of effort the athletes put, the team put, we were able to see it. And personally, people were able to connect with it more because they've been following the sport and they've known the athletes for some time now. So they were able to connect with it a lot more this time around. We definitely have a lot of scope for improvement in the future as well. We can do even better, much better. But for this, not just a single organization cannot affect the, cannot bring the positive results, positive changes. It has to be group work. It has to be teamwork. So सिर्फ एथलीट नहीं कर सकता है, सिर्फ कोच नहीं कर सकता है, सिर्फ फेडरेशन कुछ नहीं कर सकती, सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं, बट सब मिलाकर डेफिनेटली कर सकते हैं.
Right. So, one final question, and which is something that perhaps only you can answer because you've been part of Indian sport for so long. If there are, say, 3 things that you feel India can do to catch up with other nations, what would those be? At a personal level for the athlete, what are those things that you think need to happen?
See, first, so I think I'm like there are many much more experienced athletes than I am. But okay, so from personal, like how I have felt, I would say that better planning, perhaps, for injury prevention and all also, and also when to peak, when to just lay low. Because sometimes they keep shooting or they keep performing in competitions, but do not plan when to go low and when to then rise again. So in my case, my coach does that for me. So better planning maybe can one aspect. And another thing, to take youngsters into the sport. For say shooting, you can start with the 11, 12-year-old kid or 13-year-old kid. In boxing, you can start with, say, 7, 8-year-old. So I think these programs should be more visible and I think people should have access to it, because if we want to produce world-class athletes, we need to work on the grassroots level. Although schemes like Hero India are working on it, but I think we need more than that. So, for example, gymnastics, we can start training a kid from, say, 5-6 years old. So programs like those we need. We can't be like, okay, if 16 में somebody is performing, we just take it. We need to क्या कहते हैं, मतलब पौधे खुद लगाओ, उसके बाद नर्च करो.
Scout them early.
Yeah, scout them early. Work on them on their early stage, and then train them, and then have faith in them. Do not be like 5 competitions in a row they spoiled and then out of the team. At least give them some more chances, so that they have the ability to come back from it, and then probably they can do wonders. So that's one thing I'd say to, whosoever is listening, that
I'm sure right now everyone in India is listening.
this planning also should be done about different sport, different age groups should be taken, the kids should be taken.
Indeed, and that happens to be one of the big differences in Indian sport.
See, I have seen that from China. In China, they take kids from like 10, 12 years old, depending on sport to sport. For shooting, they take, I think, 12 years ka something. For gymnastics, probably they take 4, 5 years old kids. So I think that planning is way better than how we plan things. So that is one area where we can
In India,
improve.
sports that
And
find the right talent.
One more thing is that, for example, we've had Olympians last time around. All the people, we should give them opportunity to come back. We should train them to, जैसे government में, I don't know, government में होगा, federation level पे होगा, कहाँ पे होगा. Keep them in the training camps. Keep them as a part of national squad. At least for the Olympians, you can do it. Because once after 4-5 matches in shooting, you're out of the team. After I think 3 matches, you're out of the team if you do not perform well. An athlete's career is like ups and downs and ups and downs. You cannot be like on the peak forever. So many athletes were lost in that race. So that
And
is
one of the athletes you're talking about is obviously, Saurabh, who was, your partner last time around, and so brilliant. One of our best.
honestly, he is the best shooter I've ever seen in my whole career. Nobody, like not even a foreign shooter, no Chinese guy, nobody. But he was the finest one I've ever seen in my life.
Indeed, and it was, rather sad to see him drop off. And before that, we saw something similar happen to
Maybe
Jitu.
he lost interest, maybe something happened, maybe injury occurred. But it's our responsibility, it's the federation's or the government's responsibility. If he wants to still shoot, and to motivate him and to help him get back to his caliber and perform.
Indeed, and I'm sure at this point, there's no greater motivation than your own medals, I think when he's seen you sort of come back with those medals, there's no way he won't want to do the same for.
In the mixed doubles, I really felt for him. I really was like, he should have been here.
I'm sure he'll be there come the next Olympics. Thank you so much for your time.